this one early today because I got a little bit to say about my habits, trading, etc. But I will start off this video first with the recap. First with the recap. I mean, huge downward crush day, of course. Crushed this trend line, closed well below it, got all the way down to the daily Bollinger. Didn't quite make it back to this 161. This is probably going to be a continuation target. I mean, we're looking at something like this red day now, right? Where we're probably going to have maybe continuation or just a range day tomorrow. But point is, we're probably going to see this this 1618 from this fib here. And on top of that, it is time to fib out this candle in general. So we're going to do that. Ding. Do that, lock that, lock, sync global, bingo. So now we got that, and look at that, that 161 lines up right with this 161. So that could easily be a continuation target. Probably going to see a bit of range tomorrow. Whether it is something like this, just a doji, whether it's just a push down, whether it is a bullish hammer, probably going to see some continuation of range, and probably not going to get over the highs, and might just retrace the body. So there's that. Let's go ahead and bib this out. Yes, global lock, and look at that, those 161s line up exactly. They're right in this gap. This gap's never been filled, so this gap could actually be like a 161 shy target. On the Qs, I don't want to spend this whole video placing fibs, so I won't. I'll lock them and do the global stuff on my own time. I like the futures fibs a bit more, but whatever. Got the fibs on here as well. This 161 for a backtest target. This 161 for a backtest target. Continuation. Sure, they could get a squeeze out. Now let's do a recap though. So that's the forecast. Is I'm looking for these 161s for continuation. These 161s for continuation, stuff like that. And on SPY, the 5 is now well crossed under the 20, and that's what I like to see for a sustained move down. Here, for example, we didn't get continued move down after the cross, but it came like all the way down, right? So that's kind of the same thing here, actually. But even so, it still had a range day the next day. So we're probably going to be looking at some range or continuation. If we look at the 30, we are now well into a sell signal. We did not even get the back test really of these of this bottom up. Like, it comes through it, right, because of the steep drop in the price, but really it never actually got that live back test. So that was a bit surprising. And where did we come down to? You see these purple lines on SPY. We came down to the with barely, but the relatively untested buy signal VWAPs from the previous VWAP buy signal, and now we've got these next targets, which are just underneath the 161 on SPY. And then on Qs is pretty much, of course, similar anchors, similar stuff, right down to those as well. Then just consolidation. consolidation point for NQ. Yeah, the Bollinger. So, forecast is looking to see either range or continuation. If we see strong range, right, like this one, I mean, this isn't even really range. Like, if we can't break below the low and we recover more than half the body, then okay, we might actually reverse this, just hit the V. Here's that day on Qs, right? So there's that. But on Qs, the 5 crossed under the 20 before there was even a dump down, but let's not worry about that too much. So I'm going to be looking for the continuation, because this is a SPY signal, 5 and the 20. Cross, big dump, a little bit of continuation, even getting under the Bollinger a little bit. So ultimately, point is, I'll be looking for continuation or range, because this is definitely the start of perhaps some pretty bearish. This is perhaps the start of some bearish momentum. So that's the forecast there. Hit the anchors, right? Put an anchor right on the top. Now I'm gonna anchor that real time, and then I'm also going to leave that anchor there, yeah, because that never got back tested either. So there's that. Those two anchors, which will probably get a little bit of resistance. And on wash days like this, I like to do this, just to, like, if price can't get above this, then it's cooked, and there's no point in even trying to long. So that is the recap and forecast, and now I'm going to get into some stuff that I want to talk about, namely that I need to fix the habit of being like a permabull. We started the day, where were we? I did my forecast right around here, around 8, right? And this was pretty much like I thought we were gonna get back up to the 5 and the 10 for back testing, but we had already fallen under the 20, right? We had already fallen under the 20, so that means that 20 is the first back test in line, right? And we couldn't get above it. If I look at the 5-minute chart, it came down and back tested it and just dumped it out. Like, there was very little reason to be long on the open, especially on a -5 MAC. So I need to not be just like permabulling. Like this day here, I said that if we start the end of this day here, I said that if we start falling, we could just leak. But then I didn't really play that as hard as I could have. So I don't know what that is, why I'm permabulling, but there were a number of other reasons to be bearish. So on the Qs, we even basically got like a back test of that 20 and that 10 on the Qs. But on the Qs, anchor wise, these green anchors are pretty significant as the last buy signal lined up with SPY, and then these blues were the last strong buy signal that hadn't got washed. This is the start of a buy signal, right? Let me well, not really. It's the start of a Q's extended hours buy signal, but ultimately the buy signal matching them up with SPY, that makes it the most recent buy signal here. and we wiped it, right? Now, a back test of this would have been in line with a back test of the 10 and the 5, but who says we got to do that? I mean, we bounced it, wiped it, crushed underneath, and then we got underneath these buy signals, right? Which makes them that's another thing that's back testing that we have to get above before just being bullish. I shouldn't have been trading just on the open, and even if I did just trade on the open, really the 5-minute right around, I mean, hindsight 2020, but this red candle here is 925. I mean, that right there is back testing the 20 and those buy signals, and then failing it with a negative 5 MAC. There was very little reason for me to just be long. I was tired. I was just trying to get the easy trade, I suppose. I don't know what that was all about. But I definitely have to do better, not permabulling and paying attention to the metrics that are in front of me. So again, I mean, we crushed under these VWAPs. These are significant VWAPs. Crushed underneath of them, back tested them, started kind of rolling. Like could have just shorted this with a stop above here, right? And then if it breaks out, or realistically, like the stop should have been here. And it's really annoying is that is actually exactly where my stop was on my opening trades. I got stopped out, and then I just tried to go long again, and again, just like no 15 MAC cross, no 5-minute MAC cross until like all the way down here, and there's very little reason to just be permabulling. I knew that we had, since we rolled this and fell back down here, I knew we had, again, I was thinking that at least we would get a back test of all this, the 5, the 10, the trend line, all of that, but we didn't, and we didn't, and that just like that doesn't, it's like I need to accept the stop and then wait for something to actually set up or just take a short. Now there really wasn't any opportunity for a reasonable short. This was just total washout. I mean, we did not even, we retraced like no fibs, right? Well, kind of, so, well, no, because that wasn't the 50 back here, this would have been, and we didn't even come close. We didn't even come into the pocket. So just with that in mind, I need to remember that if days don't have setups, I do not have to trade every day. I do not have to trade every day. I do not have to know what's going on, and I need to respect my various levels and anchors and indicators, and not just be looking for things to like just blow out to a direction. I mean, this right here, like, I mean, this is a big deal. We fell under, we started a sell signal at the end of the day. I even said yesterday that it indicates selling. I was just too bullish to look for the back test. And really, what would I have done off of that back test? Short. I was looking for a back test to short. So why was I so obsessed with trying to go for the long to it when really I wanted to get up to here? We got the orange here is the 20 on the daily, then the blue is the 10, the yellow is the 5, and then we got the channel, and then we got some fib. Like, I wanted to get up to here, for 1, 2, 3, and then dump, right? But that's the thing, is I would have shorted, right? So I knew from my analysis that this is pretty bearish, but then I told myself I was bullish because that was the first target I had in mind, is just getting up to that 5 and 10. So I need to fix that, be more open to the possibilities, and hey, maybe even hit that frickin' inverse button. Alright, so now when I inverse it and I look here at the daily, like, that seems totally reasonable, right? Because I'm just such a freaking permabull, I guess. That seems pretty reasonable. I mean, what if I? Oh, well, this is the hourly. So, but I am curious. Whatever. Yeah. Now it seems pretty reasonable. It's like we are steady grinding. But then as soon as this high is broken, taken, popped out, right? Back tested. It's like that right there. If I were just looking at this, if these candles were, freaking opposite, truly, if they were truly opposite, right, and they were red and green, I'd be like, look at all this green. I'm gonna need to see more red before I just go against this. Like this. You see at least like 1, 2, 3 red candles. And it's like, then you get this holding bar. And this right here might happen, but the difference is this is a actual fresh low. 1, 2, 3 holding bar, fresh low, so it gets the back test. Turn these colors back. So I don't know. This was, in hindsight, everything is 2020, but I think I need to fix my permabull mentality, and it might be a good idea to start flipping as soon as I say stuff like, we're in a sell signal, we could continue. That might be time to hit that inverse button and make sure I'm seeing things all the same way. So there's that. And yeah, I mean, at the start of the day, yeah, we got this bear, and I just didn't even take my bearish setups. Like, my setup, my system was bearish on open, and I was just trying to long. So we need to fix that. But other than that, That'll do it. Be better tomorrow. Better every day, baby.